Okay, today we're sitting in a little town of Weston, Colorado, in the Sangre de Cristo mountain chain that you see in the background, where the national forests and lakes and all that are just about 15 minutes further west up Highway 12. We're sitting in front of the Weston Supply Store and Post Office, and we are facing west. If you come from Trinidad, you'll be coming from this direction about 18 miles to Weston. And today we're going to be going up into to see 80 acres with no covenants, and I'll be showing you. Okay, so the road we're taking a left on is County Road 31.9, and we're going to be going on to Wet Canyon Road. Like I say, you'll be coming from Trinidad, Colorado. It's about 25 minutes to town from this property. Weston, Colorado. There's the Sangre de Cristo mountain range again in the background. You're going to get the views really good going to this 80 acres. There's two ways to get to it. It's about 4 miles from Weston, going north up Wet Canyon here. And little Sangres look about that big when you're driving. So we just pass over the Purgatory River here. It's a little low this time of year. Okay, right at 1 mile, a little past 1 mile out of Weston, we'll take a right here. And start heading up on top of the ridge. We just came up off of Wet Canyon Road, where we took the first right-hand turn. You'll see this giant catch pond here, and so you just stay to the left once you see that catch pond, and then we're going to circle. We're only about a half mile off of Wet Canyon, and we're going to circle around, get up on top of the ridge. Okay, we've only come about 3/4 of a mile up this road, and I'm zoomed in as far as I can go with this wide angle zoom, but the mountains look about that big. They're actually a little bit bigger looking. And you can see down below Wet Canyon Road, down there, right there in the center, is where we drove in at and came up the hill. There's the catchment. So when you get to the top of the hill, where I've just showed you the Wet Canyon from down below, you'll see that gas well. You just go right, and I can see Fisher's Peak over Trinidad in the background as we're coming up. I forgot you have views all the way back. That Fisher's Peak sits over Trinidad. To the south is Raton, New Mexico, and of course heading north you'll hit Pueblo, Colorado Springs, and Denver. And speaking of those, from here, Pueblo is about an hour and 15 minutes from this property, and Colorado Springs just add another 30 minutes, and Denver another hour. I just showed you the Sangres again, and literally 30 yards later there's another chance to go right. You basically just try to stay on the main road, wiggle straight north, and keep to where you're seeing the Sangres to your left. Oh, whoa, and there's the Spanish Peaks. Yeah, this is, so that's the west and east Spanish Peak. Then you circle around, you see the old Sangre Range, which will go back into New Mexico, and that's Taos Mountain back there. Well, I call it Wheeler Peak. And on our right, we can see Fisher's Peak over Trinidad really good, once the trees are out of the way. And then there's the Spanish Peaks in front of us. You see those really well right over there. So we're just coming up another hill again. You stay on the main road, and right over this hill we'll be coming to the southeastern. We'll be crossing onto the property near the southeastern corner of the property, and our right will be the one home up here we'll pass. Here's the driveway. Okay, so on our right, we're coming to the southeastern corner of the property. There's across the road, the neighbor has a corner post here, fencing his side of the land over on his side of the property. And you see all the Sangres in the background. So this top bench right here to our left will be another real good spot on this piece of property, on this 80 acres. And to put a cabin or an RV site or something, but you'll have, you can see how flat it is up in there. You'll have some pretty big views. And when you're sitting here, the mountains look about like that. That's the west and east Spanish Peak. The Those are wildlife areas. And you'll be able to see on the aerial map, coming in that southeastern corner. If you go this way and the gate's open, I call this the shorter way out, but this road goes through the property and then down back to Wet Canyon Road where we drove in at. So you can imagine having a cabin up there would be really nice, an RV site, or camping, or you can be anywhere down here along this meadow area. And the property that ends into that big ranch I was talking about, it's gated on that side, so I believe the whole northern side of the property is fenced. Some of the best views in the whole area. That's Kachara Pass over there, and then you can see the top of the mountain when you go west on Highway 60 from Levita, going over Levita Pass. You can see the mountain over there, and that's all national forest up there. There's mountain lakes, and like I say, behind Weston Post Office there's a 35,000 acre wildlife area. In the entire world, second largest elk herd population in the world here. And speaking of hunting, because it's so private back in here and you got large pieces of land bordering, down here in these meadows and stuff is a really good place. Or you could do wildlife watching. So the gate is right down here. I'm gonna go over there and then drive down. We spun around. We came in from the south that direction. So the way we came in is from the south back down to Weston, and we're just headed to the gate. And I'll be flying my drone over it, and I'll show you the topo and the aerial. It's a combination. You can see it down on my bottom in my sight. Owners had this recut a few years back. They haven't been here in a while. So we're gonna be going down in here. There's different little benches and little branches off this road that go to different parts of this property. Alright, big break up. Go down here slow. The snow will pile up on this north face right here. Hit the plow a little bit when you come in. Just on these sharp turns. Be more towards the spring, you'd have to worry about it. If we get decent snow during the winter, you could have some snow piled up in here where you can't get in unless you have some way to plow it. There are people, neighbors around where you could get help with that. There's lots of different little benches down through this valley that you can make a lot of little cabin spots at. Camping spots. I got one down in there. Got new engine, new shocks, new radiator, new everything underneath. Transmission, rear end. My wife says, "Are you gonna get it painted?" No. So there's that little bench area down in there. There's gonna be one up here to our left. It looks like they may have cut a road up to this little bench right here. Change my mind and drive up here. This is the first little left-hand turn as you're coming down this road in this 80 acres. It comes up to a real nice spot. They had this cut in because you couldn't drive to it before, but it could be leveled out. This spot right here, and you'll see why. It's in a second. Got some nice rock formations and stuff here. Little council of rocks sitting here. So we just came up this little road. We just came up this little road right here. And The land's gonna be all mostly down below us and to the west here. And this is why you have a site here. It's really pretty. West Spanish Peak over there, and the east popping up over the rocks back there. And this road going along here with power, you could pull power down this property anywhere you wanted to. Right, there's power all along up there. So if you look at the map, this is this road right here. The first big bench when we came in the southeast corner over here is right here. And then we came in the gate here, and then they're driving down. And we come out in this little spot like right in here somewhere. I can't see real well. You could make a road up to there and have a nice big spot right here overlooking. Okay, you can see this. Yeah, we came down from the gate here, and then we were right on this spot. You could make a road up to here coming down, but you have power access to basically anywhere on the property. And of course we'll go back down, come around this loop, and come down the meadows down below. And you see this gas well over here, it's on it. You can see it over here. Yep. It's right there. It's not running. It hadn't run in a long time. Okay, we've come down from that location. You see it gets gentler down in here. We're gonna end up circling back around down here on the road. And there's a lot of nice little spots all through here. So the eastern boundary line's up there. You could do something right in that bowl right there if you didn't want to be right on the road but wanted to be up higher and see views. You just have a lot of options. We're going to start making a left here and heading down canyon, basically due west. And in this little creek bed, seasonal creek bed down here, when we have regular or normal moisture flow, you'll have little pooling places with little small springs. At least one really nice rock formations in this little canyon, and boulders and riparian areas down in the creek bed down below. Like I say, it's a seasonal creek bed. If we get normal moisture flow again, there'll be water in this catch pond down here. It could probably use some bentonite clay. Those cliffs over there, get back up to the top, and I'll go along that other little road so we can see down into the property, and then come back and fly my drone over it from the eastern end. And you can see the creek bed pretty good. And these are some neat cliffs here, and the property goes way up there. The gas well's up there on top, and there's another nice valley that goes up this direction. That we're about down in the meadow down there. Had to move a couple of rocks, big rocks. There's one I hit. Like I say, that you see how it probably goes up in that canyon over there too. We just came down below the meadow a little bit, and this is an old Jeep trail that I don't know if it's still cut, but it's not very far, and you can connect up with what I would call the short way out. But if the gas company has their gate locked, you can't get out on that short way. That would be the way if you took the other little road that goes along the property. Up top. This would be the old Jeep road. I don't know how far this goes, but this would take you back out eventually and off the land. And the gas well's up there on top up there. There's the catch pond dam. And you can go back up in this valley quite a ways to the north to part of the property. Be a nice little cabin place over there. That needs to be built back up. Obviously, it's any water goes in there that dam's been filled up. I mean, the pond has been filled up. We came down from up there, that spot we were with the big tree. It's right up there that we first stopped at. See the big tree up there? Okay, I'm gonna be heading back up on the road we came in on. Like I say, that big tree right up here. Where's it? Right there. That's where we drove to that little site up above the valley. So I'm gonna circle back around down here. Didn't mean to say those words, but I gotta circle back. Some cottonwoods. They wouldn't be here if there wasn't water. It's not too far underground. I don't know if you can see how wide this canyon is in here. It's nice. Some giant sandstone formations. And at this point, we're pretty close to the northern border. And you can see it's fenced down in there. But you have this is a nice little area right here. Okay, we've just come up the first switchback. These are some of the little smaller, I guess you'd call them meadows or flatter areas. It's not too far off of when you first come in from the gate going to the large ranch that borders on the north, McDonald Ranch. You can see Fisher's Peak over Trinidad that direction. You could do something on this side of the road too if you wanted to. So you see Fisher's Peak in the background over Trinidad. We're going to take a right up here. Turn that down. Yeah, we're facing up north with the camera at least. And so is the map. Top of the map's north. And we're on this little road right here. We're about right here on the road. And you see it crosses off the property down here. It's a little ways, and I'll show you that spot. Get out and look around. It's Wet Canyon down there where we drove in at. And Weston would be just right around this corner, down below in the valley, Purgatory River. So this little dirt spot right here, the road starts to curve left and go down the canyon. That's where it's getting off of the property, where it starts going left that direction. So the Meadow Valley actually ends up coming out to that road right over there. I don't know how much we'll be able to actually see. I'll take a look. You can see the gas well there. That meadow's down here, you can't see it. It's pretty. I decided to come up here, start flying the drone to basically the southeastern corner where we came in, heading north. Gates here. We drove down this road to this point here, and then came back up. But this big flat top right here, it is really nice up here. I'm gonna walk out on that a little bit. This is a really large area. You'd have incredible views all the way back into New Mexico, and you can see the sangres all over there, but there's so many trees. It's hard to tell. Sorry again. But it's just a really nice area. Yeah, he's come. Yeah. Could have walked right off the. Oh, those are cows. Could have walked right up off. Well, there's the road right there. So you can come to this bench real easily. It's about 50 yards to where my truck's at. Some turkey tracks. I've seen deer, lots of deer, and saw elk tracks. Coyote, mountain lion, bobcat. Actually, that's a horse. Frog there. There's one owner that lives up here. He owns, I think he owns like 160 acres over here. He's a nice guy. That's a whole turkey track drill. Walking back, I keep seeing tracks. There's no claws in this one. That's a cat track. I want to come over this southern side of this big bench. You can see down to Weston and basically back to, this is south all the way into New Mexico. That direction. And Wheeler Peak, or what I call Taos Mountains, right over there. If you're seeing this anywhere but on my website, please go to ranchviews.com. Ranchviews.com. I do this with all my properties that drive to, hike or walk through or drive through, and a drone flyover video. And I have maps and directions to get to all the properties. Thank you for watching.